What is up, Phantom Beano Federation? Today I have a real treat for all of you. Everyone who watches me knows that I like looking at pre-release builds of games, which is why I was big into things like the Ocarina of Time Space World demo, and you may also know that my favorite video game series of all time, say it with me, is Call of Duty. I am just routinely floored at how good these games always are. They're possibly the most consistent video game series ever made, compared to Nintendo, which just makes the exact same video game over and over and over again with no change or innovation whatsoever. Every single Call of Duty game is a truly unique work of art that will last throughout the ages. And today I have the privilege of playing an early build of Black Ops 6. I was visiting an old friend who works for Activision, and I see this disc on his desk labeled COD BO6, and he's like, "Don't you touch that, the game's not out yet, just wait 2 more days." But you know me, I don't like to wait 2 days for a video game, that's not how I do things, so I very quickly stole the disc, and I hid inside the sewer drain outside of his house for 5 hours until I was sure he was gone. And then I walked a couple of blocks over to the Denny's and played it on my laptop until they asked me to leave. What you are looking at here is footage from that play session. Now, the first and most impressive thing that I noticed about this game is how well optimized it is, especially considering how incredible the graphics are. I don't have the latest hardware, so considering that, it was crazy to me that the game ran as well as it did with maxed out settings at 4K resolution. It really is next gen too. I mean, just look at the reflections on that piano. The experts are looking at this and they're calling it bespoke ray trace temporal alias DLSS refractions. And as somebody who definitely knows what those words mean, I gotta say I totally agree. I mean, just look at the graphics on the shoe. As you can see, they finally listened to the fans and adopted Unreal 5. Everybody loves Unreal 5, especially Halo fans, so perhaps this is a ploy to bring some of the Halo audience over to their side. Personally, I'm a professional gamer like XQC, so I only play at 144 FPS, which meant I had to turn down the graphics to keep up. But, you know, if you have a spare $7,000 lying around somewhere, you might want to consider a PS5 Pro for this game. I was also impressed by the file size. It's only about 3.7 gigabytes. Call of Duty games are usually in the hundreds of gigabytes. They are having to sell these games with a complimentary hard drive like they did with Animal Crossing on the GameCube. I don't know what kind of compression algorithms they used for this, but I am very impressed by the sheer lack of compromise. I've covered pre-release versions of many games, so I'm an expert on these matters, and as an expert, I imagine a lot of the graphics are probably placeholders. The game doesn't come out for another 2 days, and I'm pretty sure Call of Duty games are usually made in about 5, maybe 6 days tops. They tend to put in all the graphics last because they have always understood that gameplay should come first. That's just the kind of developer Call of Duty is, and that's why I love them so much. In terms of gameplay, you know, there are guns and you shoot people with the guns, and the guns are very shooty in this shoot-gun game. You get a katana sword thing, which I'm pretty sure they've never had in a Call of Duty before. It also has an advanced AI system so they can have soccer balls roll around when you walk into them. Black Ops games are famous for their stories, which involve conspiracy, betrayal, false flags, war crimes, and covert ops. Black Ops 6 honors that rich tradition with a bizarre opening sequence where you have to kill a legally distinct ogre to stop the Illuminati. But then the graphics change, and it's revealed that everything was a simulation, kinda like Metal Gear Solid 2, except that was just a silly video game, whereas this game is real life and is actually happening right now. It's all based on real declassified information. Overall, I had my doubts about this game when it was first announced. I couldn't imagine how they could keep up that classic Call of Duty freshness, but after playing for like 23 minutes, I am now thinking this is a legitimate Game of the Year contender. Or at least it would be if Jeff Keighley wasn't, you know, biased against good video games like he usually is.